Welcome and happy Halloween. This is Professor Guerra Pujol at the University of Central Florida, and welcome to the Legal and Ethical Environment of Business. In this introductory video for Unit 5, what I will do is just provide an overview of what we'll be discussing in the next few videos, and I'll also provide an update of the course. Let's provide the update first. As you may have noticed if you've checked the course homepage, there are no assignments this week. So I'm taking my foot off the gas and not assigning any work this week so I can complete the grading. I'm happy to report that I'm about halfway through the grading of the group projects and in-class attendance. Now those aspects of the grade book are still muted. When I'm complete with the grading by November 9th, which is our last class in this course, or November 30th, if you are in sections 1, 2, and 3, the grade book will be unmuted and the grades will be updated at that point in time. Now, today what I want to do to introduce these set of videos is talk about litigation, specifically civil litigation and civil cases. We've already seen sort of a big picture, due process. We saw that the burden of proof in a civil case is usually the preponderance standard. That is to say, the plaintiff or the party bringing their case must prove their case by a preponderance of the evidence. Now, in this series of lectures, I just want to go a little bit more in depth into how the trial process works. I've dressed here for Halloween as an English lord or English judge. This is in honor of our common law tradition, which does originate in medieval England, and so I thought that would be a little bit of fun and spice up the video. Now, what we'll be talking about is litigation, and as you can see, what I've done here is I present litigation as a, by comparison, as a 3-act play. In Act 1 of the play, that'll be the next video, I'll talk about how a case gets started, and we'll see that a case gets started when the plaintiff, the moving party, the person with the complaint, the person with a cause of action or a complaint against somebody else. Plaintiff is the party who's injured or alleges to be injured by someone else, brings a complaint in a court of law. So we'll talk about that, and then we'll look at what the defendant can do in reply to a complaint. The defendant being the party being sued. In the video after that, I'll talk about the discovery process. One of the unique things about our legal environment and our civil litigation process is that when a complaint is filed, the case does not go immediately to trial. What will happen is there'll be a process of discovery where both the plaintiff and the defendant can obtain evidence and information relevant to their cases and to the defense of the case during this discovery process. So I'll talk about how the discovery process works and the main forms of discovery in our system, legal system. And then finally, Act 3, I like to say, is the trial. This is when there might be a jury impaneled, it might be a bench trial, so the judge is deciding questions of fact and law, but the case may, rarely, but it may go to trial. That's, of course, a very dramatic moment. Parties will present their evidence in court, and so we'll talk a little bit about the trial process. What I'll do, though, I'll warn you, I'm not going to focus too much on the trial. I'll talk about alternate forms of dispute resolution. One of the things that I want you to take away from this series of lectures is that civil litigation is a very time-consuming and costly practice. Way of resolving disputes. And so some alternate methods of dispute resolution have grown over the years as a way of either replacing or supplementing the traditional civil litigation system. So we'll look at settlement negotiations are very common, informal negotiations. We'll look at mediation as well, and we'll also talk about arbitration. So the main forms of alternate dispute resolution. I'll talk about those in our last video for this unit, Unit 5. Well, thank you for your attention. Hope to see you soon, and go Knights.